a longtime friend with family connections. Pleasure to be here. Later, we'll be joined by Yaakov Chaguel, the chairman of the World Zionist Organization. We'll hear remarks by Mr. David Angor, the president of the American Sephardi Federation. And unfortunately, I miss my old friend Gilad Ardan, whom cannot be with us today, I hope for good reasons. I'm honored to chair and lead Yad Ben Tzvi. Yad Ben Tzvi is named after the second president of the State of Israel. And we research and follow his heritage, a century old, to learn about the Sephardic and Mizrahi communities. He had a vision back then, even before the formation of the State of Israel, that part of the Jewish people, of the new state that is going to happen, an important part is the Jewish communities in the Mizrach, the Sephardic communities. It wasn't such acceptable idea back then, but as a very promising future leader of the State of Israel, he led this perception, and happily, we are now, for 8 decades, we follow this perception, and we are very happy that it's now very acceptable at the State of Israel. This initiative of the Dahan Center, together with Yad Ben Tzvi and with cooperation of the World Zionist Organization and the American Sephardi Federation, is very important. I'm encouraged to see, and I've learned before, that there is inclusion of young people in the program of the conference. This is very important because this story, we need to move forward for generations to go. It's not something that we can allow ourselves that will die as soon as people that lived in these countries will die. This is something that we need to promise to ourselves that will live with us for generations to come. Certainly, it is important for the future of the Jewish people and the State of Israel. It is our duty to bring this story to the knowledge of the worldwide and for people in the State of Israel, because this is something that sometimes we tend to leave aside. Sometimes we say it's part of the price that we paid for the formation of the State of Israel, and now we can move forward. No, no one can move forward on its history, on its rich cultural history, of its important part of the Jewish people. This is something that needs to live with us for generations to come. I'm a grandchild of grandparents who made Aliyah from Shiraz in the 1920s after a program that happened in this community. I was happy and privileged to serve as Director General of the Prime Minister's Office, which is one of the highest ranks in the civil service in Israel, and now to head the Institute after the second president of Israel. I think I'm only an example of what have become of the Mizrahi Jews in Israel. We are an essential part of the State of Israel. We lead the State of Israel, and we contribute to the revival and the success story of the State of Israel as every other part of the Jewish people. And this is the heritage of more than 1 million people that have fled the Arab countries and, as Shimon mentioned, suffered persecution and pogroms. If one will go, and we miss Gilad Ardan here, to the UN, the story, the claim of the right of return of the Arab refugees from the State of Israel during the Independence War is all over the place. This is something that is keep brought up again and again. First of all, let's all remind ourselves that they have left the State of Israel not because someone sent them and because their leaders back then told them, listen, leave, and after we'll wipe this small Jewish claimed state, you will go back to your towns. Second, the fellow Arabs that accepted them left them in refugee status in camps in their countries. If we'll take in contradiction what happened with the State of Israel was happily absorbing 1 million Jews, and with the little resources back then that the State of Israel had, made them an integral part of the Jewish people in the State of Israel. And nobody hears now about a claim of return or a claim of refugees from these 1 million people, or their children and grandchildren, as in the Palestinian refugees, this status is going on generations forward. It doesn't stop to exist. I hope this conference will help us making sure that this story of the Mizrahi Jews that moved to the State of Israel and the rich culture and heritage will live with us forward many years to come. Thank you all for coming, and I hope together we will live to this dream. Thank you very much all.